Okay. I am on day 6 of my water fast, which means that for the last 6 days, I haven't eaten anything and I haven't drunk anything except for water, coconut water, and structured water. So here I am on day 6 and I feel really good. So I am full of energy, but I am detoxing. Like I can feel a lot of like mucus drainage through my system. My eyes are a little like droopy here on the sides or whatnot, which is fine. It's a fast, right? Like so there's going to be some physiological changes and I'm here for it because I want to get rid of like all the nastiness, all of the things that weigh me down, make me feel lethargic, and those are the reasons that I started this fast in the first place. I was feeling like my body was moving into some insulin resistance. I have had a metabolic condition since I was born. I didn't even know about it until I had my children, and they showed signs or manifested signs of something, and they got checked out and the doctors found like a genetic link. And then I started learning about why I experienced a lot of things in my youth, why my body went through certain changes all the time, why I couldn't digest certain things. And I started making changes to get myself on a more healthier path. And what I had to do, because like in the metabolic field, there's not a whole lot of like help for different things, and different ailments you experience outside of the natural health community. I had to, grab onto methods of natural health, educate myself on my body, take control of my health. I did the same for my kids and my children. And I would say that our outcomes have been like above average, especially with the condition that we have had. But it's been a journey, right? And it's required a lot of learning. And one of the things that I've used for like the last 5 or 6 years is water fasting. Actually, I started my first water fast maybe about 8 years ago, but I really didn't know what I was doing. And I quit after like 5 or 6 days, and I had to start drinking like soup and different things, which is fine. Whatever your fasting journey is or non-fasting journey, whether it's intermittent fasting or just removing certain things from your diet in order to make you feel better, I'm all here for it because I truly feel that, we have to be the masters of our own body, and we are the best scientists and we are the best doctors to understand what's going on in our body. Like when you go to the doctor, they ask you what's going on. So they are expecting you to know and have a good understanding and grasp of what makes you tick. And so I've just had to do that a lot more because there's been a lot less support in the area of the metabolic condition that I have. So anyways, fasting has been one of the things and one of the tools that I've used. It's really great for me. It gets me out of insulin resistance. And I can tell I'm insulin resistant when I start doing things like packing on weight, like 2 to 3 pounds a week for no reason. I'm eating the same amount, but I'm gaining 2 to 3 pounds. I'm eating fairly healthy, right? Like I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been the best, most healthiest eater, but like if I'm eating fairly healthy, I'm not eating a standard American diet. I have a salad 2 or 3 times a day. I might have a few cheats, like a couple of chips or something, but then I start packing on weight for no reason. I notice I'm not, moving. I'm sitting at my desk 12 hours a day, which I do like several times a week. And so if those things happen, then I start moving into insulin resistance. I'm not metabolizing really much. My gut feels sluggish. I have a lot of indigestion. And I'm like, okay, it's time for a detox. I got to get back on the right track, but not just the fasting. I also have to move. I have to change my lifestyle so I don't keep going into those like crash cycles or whatnot. So I do use fasting to get out of that. One of the byproducts of fasting is weight loss. To me, it's not the goal. And I don't think for anybody, it's like a great, like fasting, like water fasting is a great way to, it's not a great weight loss plan. You will lose weight, obviously, right? Like if you're not eating anything and just consuming like water and, and a structured water, or even if you just do like watermelon juice, you're probably going to lose a lot of weight. A lot of it will be water, and that water will probably come back when you get out of your fast. But you will, if you continue on your fasting journey, like if you do it for more than like 2 or 3 days, you're likely going to move into ketosis, which means you will be burning like fat for energy. So you will actually burn actual fat from your body. And I think that it's great because there's so many people doing things like Ozempic and GLP-1s, which is fine. Whatever suits you is fine. But if you're looking for an alternative, water fasting is great. You might need to speak to your doctor. Everybody has their own health journey that they have to pursue. I don't necessarily speak to my doctor about fasting just because, again, like A, I'm used to it. And then B, there's not much that I have to ask because I sort of know what my limits are and things of that nature. And then C, I've also found an absence of holistic health support in the medical community. So for me, speaking to a doctor is just really not helpful or not an option. They either don't really know much about it themselves, they've never done it, they don't have patients that have done it. So there's not like a whole lot of like clinical studies and things of that nature that they can rely on. So therefore, sometimes it falls outside of the standard practice of medicine. I've relied on like the YouTube community, the online community, like naturalists, naturopaths, and whatnot, within the online community and the other side of health, which is like more of like the holistic medicine side to get information and inspiration. So that's why I'm sharing my experience and sharing what I've done and where I've gone. But I am also here to say that if you're nervous about anything, please speak to like a medical practitioner, a naturopathic doctor. I have a few referrals and recommendations, individuals that I've used that could be helpful on your fasting journey. But what I do more than anything is I go to YouTube, especially when I'm looking for inspiration and I'm like, I'm ready to start my fast. Who's out there fasting? What's their experience like? How do I get myself motivated? I go to YouTube and I look at people's journeys and I see what they're doing. And that's what I need to get me motivated. So if you are like me, hopefully you find this video useful. Oh, I'm so sorry for like the grand finale, right? Like I'm on day 6 and I just want to share the weight that I've lost. And I did all of that talking just a few minutes ago to let you know that it's not about the weight loss, but you will lose weight, right? You will lose weight. You will gain it back if you don't do the right things. But my weight loss has been 16 pounds so far. 16 pounds in 6 days. So if you are really struggling with weight loss and you believe that you can tolerate a fast or you've been cleared by whoever, then I would say this could be a really good way, especially if you're like on the fence about GLP-1s or Ozempic. Like, let's call this the Nozempic fast, so because I know people who have done GLP-1s, they've gained a lot of weight, right back or whatever. They don't feel good and they've never really focused on adapting the healthy practices that will keep them, from gaining that weight back, and eating the right things. This is sort of fasting, water fasting. It's like you can't not do the right things, right? You're not eating anything when you get off the fast. You can't just put a bunch of crap in your body because you're going to feel it like right away. Your body's not going to tolerate it. You won't be able to eat it. Matter of fact, you're not going to be that hungry. Your stomach shrinks and all of that. And you're going to start craving like nutrients, fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, all of that stuff. So I am also going to share like what I cook and what I, like all the recipes that I have curated over the last like 7 years, by learning about like raw foods and their healing properties and then understanding like how those work with you post fast. So I'll share like all those recipes too. However, like just FYI, you can lose good weight and I'm at 16 pounds already in day 6. So I mean, it's remarkable to me. It's remarkable. Likely mostly water for sure, right? But I'm confident that there's some like actual fat in there. And as I continue through this journey, I will continue to burn, fat, adipose tissue fat, which is really where most of your toxins live. So getting rid of that also helps you just be healthier over time in general. All right, so I've been talking long enough. I hope you found this video useful and I'll be back to continue to share like my real experience. This is me, no makeup, no filter, acne scars and all, with my dark circles around my eyes and my droopiness first thing in the morning. But I'm being real because I think it's just so important for everybody to understand the ins and the outs of the fasting process.